Hey there, so you're thinking about making a move to Salt Lake City, Utah? Well, you are in luck. Today, I'm going to be sharing some of the advantages and disadvantages to living in Salt Lake City, and we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Utah, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living here in Utah. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, who are looking to relocate, buy or sell a property here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. My team and I would love to be in touch with you. Also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to Utah guide, comment down below the word guide, G-U-I-D-E, and we'd love to send that over to you. So you've been thinking about making a move to Salt Lake City. You're still a little bit, in the research phase, and you've come across my channel. Well, you're in luck. I've got a ton of videos all about Salt Lake City and a lot of the surrounding areas of Salt Lake City. So if you're thinking about making a move, let's talk about some of the reasons that people are making a move to Salt Lake City and why this might be a good place for you and maybe why it might not be the right fit for you. So number one, a lot of people are making the move here simply because of the job market. The job market here in Utah is strong. There are so many jobs in the way of construction and healthcare, education, finance, lots of great job opportunities in Salt Lake City and in some of the surrounding areas. Just about 25 minutes south of Salt Lake is Lehi, Utah, which is known as the Silicon Slopes, named after the Silicon Valley in California. You've got the Silicon Slopes, which big tech industry, lots in the way of jobs in and around Lehi, and same thing with Salt Lake. So that's number one. A lot of people are moving to Salt Lake for that. Number two, a lot of people are moving to Salt Lake simply because of the natural beauty, the incredible mountains, and really all the different things that Utah has to offer. I know I get calls every week when people are like, Mariah, we live a really active lifestyle. We love being outside. We love the outdoors. And it seems like Utah has a lot to offer in that way. Well, you're exactly right. Utah really does. Because there are the 4 seasons in Utah, depending on what your interest level is like with activity, you might be really interested in skiing, snowboarding, snowshoeing. You might be really interested in paddleboarding or stand-up kayaking or boating or camping or hiking. I mean, literally the list can go on and on and on. So many different recreational activities here in Utah. And one of the things to know is because, Salt Lake especially has the 4 seasons, Salt Lake really has catered toward those toward the 4 seasons as well. And what I mean by that is when it's snowing outside or when it's whatever, Salt Lake is set up where there are so many incredible indoor recreational centers with swimming, with, incredible gyms. You've got tracks, indoor tracks in many of these recreation centers. You've got lazy rivers, you've got indoor water slides. Not only that, but there are facilities that are just pickleball courts. There are tennis courts. There are golf simulators. I mean, the number of activities indoors are unbelievable too. So when you've got the really cold temperatures outdoor, okay, bring the recreation indoor. When you've got the really hot temperatures in the summertime too, there are so many indoor recreational activities. So if you are into the recreation, Utah has a lot in terms of that. So like I'd mentioned, awesome job opportunities, lots of sports, lots of recreation. Another reason people love calling Utah home, and especially the Salt Lake area, is it's really family friendly. There are a lot of activities for families. There's a lot of museums, there's a lot of sports, there's a lot of recreation. The education system in and around Salt Lake is, highly acclaimed. So a lot of people here love the family friendly, and they also love the education and the outdoor recreation and just all the activities there are for families. I know my family and I we have loved enjoying a lot of the different recreation and a lot of the different family activities. Mondays, a lot of times, is family night, is what they call it. So a lot of places have discounts on Monday and for the family. So whether you're, going bowling or ice skating or, taking your kids to one of the museums, a lot of those places have Monday as like family night and you get a discount for your family. So I would say ask about that Monday discount, and a lot of people and a lot of places do offer that. A lot of people love moving to Salt Lake and especially Utah because it is known as being more of a conservative state. I've had so many people that are moving here that are going, I don't like to necessarily talk about politics and religion, but you will see here in Utah, many people lean more conservative. With that being said too, there is a large influence from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints here in Utah. Some people are moving here for that and absolutely love it. Other people are like, you know what? It's not my religion, but I've heard they make great neighbors and I'm open-minded. So just kind of know that too. Let's talk about some of the disadvantages that some people have experienced here in Salt Lake, or sometimes people talk about that where they're like, hey, you know what? I'm kind of on the fence and I don't really know. Weather is a huge factor. And I know when my family and I moved from Southern California here to Utah, we were actually, let's just say, not we, my husband was not worried at all. I was concerned about the winter weather. Let's talk about winter for a minute. Winter in the Salt Lake area, it gets cold. I mean, you're gonna have the coldest months are December, January, and February. March you'll get some snowfall in March, you'll get some snowfall in April, but basically December, January, and February are going to be the coldest months with the most snow. With that being said, again, depending on where you are and depending on where your home's located, the higher up the elevation you have, the more snow you're gonna have. So some people move here and they're like, okay, do I need to have a heated driveway? Do I need to have, all these different things like with snow tires or all-wheel drive? Well, again, a lot of times it depends on where you're living. But if you're in and around Salt Lake, most people do not have heated driveways. Most people, I wouldn't say most, a lot of people do have either snow tires or some kind of four-wheel drive, especially if you're thinking about going into the mountains. But Salt Lake does a really good job of clearing off the snow. So when it snows, a lot of the roads are very, are clear. But if you are living a little bit higher up on like the East Bench, or let's say you're living in Park City, or for safety's sake, I would have the snow tires, or I'd have four-wheel drive, or a combination of both. So know that it does get cold and it does get warm. Like in the summertime, it does heat up. And you'll have a lot of 90-degree days. Sometimes you'll have 100-degree days. It does cool down though during the evening, which is really nice. So you have hot days, cooler evenings. So unlike some other places, it doesn't necessarily do that. Another thing, some people love this, some people, don't really care for it. Utah, because it's a desert, it is very dry. So you don't have a lot of that humidity. So some people have problems, with dry skin or nosebleeds or things like that. Other people love it because they're like, oh my gosh, my hair is not really frizzy, or the hot doesn't feel as hot and the cold doesn't feel as cold. So a lot of people are like, some other places that they're coming from, the humidity is much higher. And so they feel like, oh, I'm just sweating constantly. Where here you're like, it's hot, but it doesn't feel as hot as maybe some other places. Another disadvantage to Utah and specifically the Salt Lake area is the housing costs. The housing costs have gone up significantly over the years. In fact, I was recently reading that Utah has been ranked as the third most expensive place to purchase a home. So I've gotten calls from people that are looking for, fantastic deals and saying, hey, I want to get a house for $400,000 and I want a single family home and I want an acre. And I'm going, I don't know of any of those things here in Salt Lake anymore. However, some people that are moving here from other places where they're like, okay, so for $1 million, what can I get for $1 million if I'm moving here? It's like, well, you're going to be able to get some more space. You're going to be able to get some more land. You're going to, from some of these other places that they're moving in. So kind of being realistic with the expectations, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, yes, you could have gotten the $400,000 single family home in, some areas and you probably would have had some space too, but we're not seeing that anymore. So housing prices have drastically increased. So for some people, that is a game changer, and it's pushing them out. Also, something to be aware of is the air quality. In Salt Lake City, occasionally we get the inversion. The inversion, thick, smoggy air comes in, sits right in the Salt Lake Valley until a storm pushes it out. Some people with respiratory issues, that could be a major problem, and they don't want to have to deal with the inversion. So many people are moving here for the jobs. They love the natural beauty. They love the job opportunities, how family friendly, a lot of just opportunities for families, for kids, for good education system. But there's also some drawbacks with really with the housing costs, with the air quality at some point, and the different influences that are here in Utah. If this all sounds great and you're like, nope, sign me up. My team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email if you do want a copy of that free Moving to Utah guide. Comment down below the word guide, Guide, and we'd love to send that over to you. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your day and week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.